I'm here to be the manager of Manchester United, not the coach. What do you think is going on here? And bearing in mind that Enzo Maresca has just left Chelsea, a month on from starting to challenge, it felt like, the executive at the football club?
It can only be two things. It can either be about the January transfer market, that he doesn't feel like he's being backed, or the people above him are questioning the fact that he almost at this moment is flip-flopping between systems, and it started to look like he was getting some work, or maybe moving to a back four. He went back to the five at the back against Wolves, and possibly one of the worst performances that you'll see from a team this season against Wolves, I would say. But no matter what it is, I don't think he is in any position whatsoever to be questioning the people who appointed him.
Why not?
Because he's not good enough. He's not good enough to be Manchester United's manager. He's barely competent enough to be a Premier League manager right now. And that's not me being disrespectful to Ruben Amorim. I think he's been there now well over 12 months. And I think the majority of managers in the Premier League who are all managing different other clubs at different ends of the table would look at Manchester United and think, I'd get more points than that. I really do believe those managers would believe that, and I believe they would as well, because this is a guy who, don't forget, as well said at one stage, this is possibly the worst Manchester United team in history. He's managing it.
Well, I mean, that graphic doesn't tell a great story in terms of support of Ruben Amorim, and the fact that only Spurs, West Ham and Wolves of the Premier League ever presence have picked up fewer points since Amorim was appointed. Forest, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Brighton, Brentford, all with more. Might he argue, or his supporters argue, that he hasn't been backed enough, Jamie, when you look at what they've been able to bring in? Just 2 transfer windows.
He's been more than backed. I mean, he couldn't have had too many complaints if the club parted company with him in the summer on the back of how poor it was last season. But they then went into the market and spent a lot of money on the attack. 207
million on 3 players this summer.
Okay, now whether that was, I'm sure he was heavily involved in that. Now, he's playing a system that is not in the traditions of Manchester United. So there was no way they could recruit all the attacking players and the wing backs and maybe the centre backs that he wanted. It was going to be over a long term plan in terms of windows. But he can be complaining now about not having funds in January. Manchester United put a huge amount there in the summer. Don't forget, they had no Champions League football, no European football. A lot of that was down to him and how the team performed last season. Let's not forget, when he was brought in, the idea was to try and get them Champions League football. They were 4 points off the Champions League when he came in. They finished 15th. So when you talk about a lack of funds, that was down to him and the team and the players. And there was no way that he's going to get everything that he wants.